Okay guys, the hottest topic in the Hyrox world right now. Nick Bear competing in Dallas, Texas at the end of next month. Ever since Nick put this out as his next challenge, everybody has been speculating as to how quick he will go. Some people throwing out wild comments like maybe he'll be joining the Elite 15 soon. I wouldn't quite get ahead of ourselves there. So here I am, I just wanted to throw my hat in the ring for a prediction on how fast Nick's going to go at Hyrox Dallas. In his recent videos, Nick is claiming to be in the best overall shape of his life in terms of a combination of running endurance and strength. He says morning weight, he's about 195 to 200 pounds, big boy, and he's currently running anywhere from 55 to 65 miles per week, which we all know is a ton of mileage. Nick's been a powerlifter, an Ironman, a marathoner, a competitive bodybuilder. He's doing ultra marathons, ultra trail runs. The guy does it all. In the past, talking about a decade ago, of course, we can see crazy numbers being put up in powerlifting from Nick. 700 pound deadlifts, squatting well over 400 pounds, benching well over 300 pounds. Of course, he's not quite that strong now, but he's still a very strong guy. You can see from recent videos that he's still throwing out 5x5 at 315 pounds on back squat during workouts after a hard running session in the morning. And the guy's running PRs need no introduction. He's got that sub 5 mile, he's got that notorious 2:39 marathon, which is 3:47 per kilometer, which is just insane. And interestingly, he's put out there that he's going to go for a sub 1:15 half marathon at the start of next year. That's 3:33 per kilometer. So we know Nick's getting himself into good running shape. If you follow him closely, you would have seen a few days ago he just put out 12 by 1k at 3:25-ish per kilometer average with 1 minute rest. That's crazy running. What I did find really interesting is that when he was asked on the Rocks Life podcast what his goal was for this Hyrox in Dallas, he didn't say. He was really playing his cards close to his chest, and I find that very surprising for a guy who's been very vocal in the past about his goals. He really puts it out there. We can see this from all of his marathon goals that he puts out. He sticks a number out there and he goes and he achieves it. So it is a bit strange to me that he's not willing to throw a number out there for Hyrox, but I think it's safe to assume the goal is probably sub 60. So yes, Nick has tons of endurance, he's a strong guy, and he can run for days. But do I think Nick is going to break the 60-minute barrier in his first Hyrox? I'm not so sure. And here's the reason why. Yes, Hyrox is 8 kilometers of running, half the event is running. Yes, there's strength elements in there, which Nick's going to excel on, but it's going to be difficult for him to put it all together at his very first event. We all know how difficult it can be to simulate a Hyrox in the gym. It's very difficult to replicate rock zones, transitions, get the surfaces right. We just don't really know what we're getting into on the day. Therefore, it can be very difficult for us to predict how we're going to go at each event. It can even vary massively from event to event due to inconsistencies in the competitions. Typically, when we look at guys who go under 60 minutes, they're not always the best runners. We can look at Fabian Eisenlauer, who ran with Alex Ronkovic at the doubles in Amsterdam there a couple of weeks ago. The guy is a pro triathlete. He's got a sub 70 half marathon, an absolute freak at running, and he will put in 330 to 340 kilometer reps during his Hyrox races, but he doesn't always break 60 minutes, and that's because he's weaker on the sleds and the wall balls. Typically these stations that can really slow an athlete down. The guys that are going sub 60, they're putting in 2 minutes sled push, 3 minutes sled pull. They're going sub 4 minutes on the wall balls, 3 minutes 3:30 on the lunges. It's being able to maintain this high power output on those events and then get straight back into your running. It's just different. It's just so easy to lose a minute here or there on the sleds, on the burpees, on the wall balls. It's the keeping it together on these stations that is essential to go under 60 minutes. And this is why I don't think Nick is going to break 60 minutes in his first Hyrox. I reckon Nick's probably going to go in and around the 62-minute mark. I'm just not sure he's going to be able to maintain the pace on the sleds, on the burpees, the lunges, the wall balls, even the ergs. It's just putting everything together, getting through the rock zone, getting, in through the archway to the start of the station, where your time starts, getting on the erg, getting off it and getting back out. It's all of these small things that really add up, and you really have to be on the ball in order to go under 60 minutes. Is he going to put in, 30, 31 minute total combined running? Probably. I like to think he's going to go under 32 minutes total running. It's just the stations that I think is going to limit Nick and slow him down just that little bit and prevent him from breaking sub 60. Do I think he has the ability to go sub 60 in the future? Yeah, without a doubt. With a few more Hyroxes under his belt, a bit more training, I'm just not so sure it's all going to come together at his very first Hyrox. But, a 61, 62 minute, 63 minute even, super impressive for anyone. I think that's more likely to be where he's going to be. But you never know, this guy has a habit of proving everyone wrong, and he just might put it all together on the day and do something absolutely insane. We'll have to wait and find out. Let me know down in the comments what you guys think. Do you think Nick's going to break 60? Do you think he's going to struggle? What stations, if any, do you think he would struggle on?